There's a reason the Vin Jiang hacks haven't worked for you, bro. They didn't work for me either.
Do you like free stuff? Well, good, because we have a lot.
Once you understand how to break your sound barrier, you are going to start to feel the permanent change that having a powerful voice can give you. And I've gone through my own radical voice change, and I've also led dozens of clients do the exact same thing at this point. So let me show you how I turn a weak voice into a powerful one. It's pretty easy. So the first thing to understand is this idea of vocal space. In every conversation, you can kind of have an idea of how powerful someone is, how much confidence someone has, by the way that they take up the space in a conversation. Not that they're especially commanding or dominant per se, but what I can say is if you imagine a conversation like a canvas, some people speak like this, and some people speak like this. You notice not only are these strokes bigger, but they're colorful. Meaning some people, it's really easy naturally to take up vocal space, not only in the fact that they're speaking loudly, but they're also expressing so many different sides of themselves, so many different emotions. And this is so powerful, bro. Because I can literally remember being at a party one time, and I'm telling a story because we're all going around telling stories. It's my turn now. I stand up and I start telling this embarrassing story of this one time when I was caught in a parking garage by a police officer having sex. And even though I thought it was a fun and engaging story, Charles, this guy, stands up and he starts telling his own story. He kind of interrupts me and starts telling his, and everyone is so much more intrigued. Everyone is paying attention to him and no one's eyes are really on me at this point. So I just kind of sit down and I never even finish my story. And it's because I naturally didn't used to command attention with anything that I did, because my voice didn't allow me to. So why do people speak like this in the first place? Let's name these guys. So let's say this is Harold, bro. Harold speaks like this. I used to be a Harold. And this is Chad. Absolute Chadsworth Chadsley. The Harolds of the world speak like this because they have this fear of being quote unquote found out. Because in some way they believe that they are bad. Whether it's that they're stupid or they're evil or they're unworthy, because we all know our own mistakes that we've made throughout our life. We know all the fucked up thoughts that we have. And we just assume that other people haven't made these mistakes, that they haven't had the same fucked up thoughts. We assume that somehow we are inherently bad. And this is proven through studies like whenever scientists set up this placebo pill that people would take, right? And they thought it was for actual sickness and for getting over sickness. When instructed to give it to their dog, they were way more accurate in doing so than when instructed to give it to themselves. Meaning it's very natural for people to care for others a lot more and see others more highly than they see themselves. And the fear behind this is if they speak up, if they start speaking like this, showing their real personality, speaking more like Chad, that they're going to be proven right. That they are bad. People are going to point out their vulnerabilities, point out their flaws. And this is absolutely terrifying to Harold. Harold is pooping his pants. But once you master this first part, bro, once you master the vocal space, it's like you can so much more easily implement the tactics and hacks to do the sexy stuff, right? To get the depth, to get the resonance, to get that Morgan Freeman voice, baby.
Let me tell you about a voice, the one that whispers.
And if you want to know more about that, I talk about this in length with the first link in the description. So right now, bro, if you're speaking like this, it's no wonder, because you are surrounding yourself with heralds, with the kind of people who tell you shit like it doesn't matter what you speak like. It doesn't matter what your voice sounds like. It's just the one you were born with. Of course how you speak matters. Of course the way that you use your voice affects other people in different ways. So honestly, fuck all the heralds who are trying to be crabs in the bucket and bring you back down just because they don't want to change, bro. We're not like them. You and I are part of this rising top percent of men who are trying to get the absolute best out of life. So the more that you can separate yourself from the heralds of the world, the better, because we're not trying to live a normal fucking life, bro. But confident people, the Chadsleys of the world, are unafraid to take up vocal space, mostly for two reasons. They unlock this ability of vulnerability from, one, they're at ease with their thoughts, meaning they feel zero shame for any thought that they may have, because they realize that their thoughts are normal. They're not that unsimilar to the people around them. Even if they have fucked up thoughts, even if they have this dark side to them, right? Other people probably have that too. None of their opinions are whack because that's just what they like. There's no reason to be ashamed that they like anime or like the weirdest sport in the world, like water polo or some shit. They don't care. They've expressed these thoughts enough times with confidence that they recognize, oh, it is totally normal. And there are other people who have these exact same thoughts and opinions too. Secondly, Chadsley sees conflict as a positive. Meaning he doesn't shy away from disagreements. He doesn't care if other people disagree with him or think he's weird, or if something comes up where he has to set a boundary, right? Because he realizes growth comes from conflict on his end and in his relationships. And if you are doing everything that you possibly can to avoid conflict, to avoid disagreements, one, no one is going to know the real you, but two, you are not going to grow, right? None of your relationships are going to grow. You're not going to polarize anyone, and you're never going to find the people who love you because you're so obsessed with everyone, quote unquote, liking you, thinking that you're an okay guy. So how do we make this change from being a Harold to a Chad? First of all, you have to do what I set up in the intro, which is break your sound barrier. This is the barrier that you have been underneath this entire time of how loudly you're supposed to speak, how much you actually can express yourself, your opinions, how much emotion you can truly show in conversations. You have to break through this barrier first, just one time. And then your career, your dating life, your social life is on easy mode after this. Because with our voice, we tell others how to treat us in a positive feedback loop. It starts with your beliefs, and then it goes to your actions, and then it goes to reflections. Basically, there is a feedback loop that feeds into itself, meaning whatever you put into it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. If you have these unconfident beliefs, it's going to reflect in the way that you speak, and then others are going to treat you as if you were unconfident, which is going to make you believe that you are so, and on and on and on and on. But if you were able to break out of the cycle just once with confident beliefs, with a confident voice, that's going to be reflected back to you, and it's going to reinforce itself. Our goal is just to break your sound barrier one time, and you never have to worry about it again. It's just naturally who you are. You become this incredibly confident, vocally precise, expressive guy. So tactically, how we're going to do this is with a habit tracker. Every word that you speak being loud and expressive, because this is how we're taking up vocal space. Remember, it's not just that you're painting this vocal canvas with big strokes, it's that they're different colors, right? You're showing different sides of yourself, different sides of your emotions. You're a complete human being showing all sides of yourself. Next, go ahead and put these check boxes for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So each day of the week, your goal is for one full week to say every word loud and expressive. And this is how you break through your sound barrier. Because when you can genuinely say, I spoke every single word, not only loudly, but with expression, with emotion behind my voice. Get all of these ticked off. That is whenever the people around you are going to start treating you different. Your immediate relationships are going to change in the best way. People are going to think there's something different about this guy. I can't put my finger on it, but he just seems more confident somehow. What happened? And I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be a little hard to hit this at first, right? Every word loud and expressive, that's a little bit tough. But what you can do until you start hitting full days is just count the percent. So if you think on Monday you hit maybe 30% of your words in the morning and then you forgot the rest of the day, you can put 30%. The goal is to just keep increasing this percent, right? 45 to 50. Maybe Thursday you hit back 45 again, but Friday you hit 80. Most of your words you got, and then Saturday, Sunday, you mark them off. And then the next week, you just hit each day. That's the idea, that's the goal. So of course, the relationships that you have now are going to change. But on top of that, every new coworker you meet, every stranger that you talk to, every time you approach a cute girl, right? They're going to think that you've always been this confident guy. You've always sounded like this. My point is, this is way more than just a voice tip. And voice is way more than just how you sound. It's everything to do with your charisma. Because as soon as you master this, I'm telling you from personal experience and from the experience of my clients, people treat you as a completely new person, bro. And I'm excited for you to get to experience that. If you made it to the end of this video, bro, just know that I'm so proud to be in this close-knit group of rising young men with you. Because if you've watched a few of my videos by now, you're probably starting to realize that the most powerful man is the one who has mastery over his voice. So I'm grateful for you, bro, and I cannot wait to see your progress. So you can watch this video next if you want a full deep dive on how to master your voice. And yeah, that's it, bro. Okay, love you, bye.